in behind the cage. Dash to his right and wraps it around to the goal.
Lobo, O'Reilly, over the top. Roy ready.
Shot and score. Gets around Wheaton. Off the bounce. Shot and a score. Wow. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score.
Up top, Druin. He wants a shot, and he's got it. Wow. Meanwhile, Arbusto. One-handed shot is up and in. With an extra man.
Bouvier sniping.
Top corner. Sophomore goes back to it. Enzo turns and scores. Now inside of 4 minutes. Who's the man? Spellman's the man. That's who. Clark on the run. Shot and score. Meanwhile, Durkin to the cage. Shot and score. Chase. Extra feed. Shot and score. Game over. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Nashua. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between the Exeter Bluehawks and the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. This game has been circled on the calendar for a long time, as long as the schedule has been around. These two teams eyeing one another in Division I, and it's played out pretty much the way we thought it would. 3+ weeks into the season, the defending champion Cardinals are undefeated against in-state competition. Their lone loss came their last time out at Staples down in Connecticut, where they lost on Saturday to drop them to 7-1. Exeter is 9-0, and that includes an out-of-state win at Acton Boxborough back on Saturday. They get it done by a goal, 13-12, to remain unblemished. So here we go, Roger. It's a rematch of last spring's championship game, and players on both teams know what time it is for sure.
Yeah, and this is a whole new game. There's not a lot of returning players that figured in the scoring in the scorecard last June. We've got two very, very strong teams that are traditionally very, very strong, but new players, with the exception of Connor Bouvier on the Cardinals. He is the only returning Cardinal that actually scored in that championship game. Everybody else has moved on. And on the Exeter side, they only scored 7 goals in that contest a year ago. And according to my score sheet, no one except for Aiden Drunzik is returning from that game. So all new energy, all new players, with the exception of 1 or 2. After BG coming off that surprising loss this past weekend and Exeter riding high on the win against Acton Boxborough, this should be a lot of fun to see today.
Of course, the sidelines is something to watch tonight. Longtime head coach on the BG sideline, Chris Cameron, has his Cardinals once again in the hunt for a state championship. 10 rings since Coach took over about 15 years or so ago. You can basically pencil in BG to the championship year in and year out under Coach Cameron. And on the other side, Exeter's Matt Brewster, former player at Franklin Pierce University, takes over for longtime head coach Jerry Hawley, who had been on the sideline for 22 years. So we've got the old Lion and the young Cub, so to speak, going head-to-head on the sideline tonight.
Yeah, it was fun watching you and Coach Cameron interview Matt Brewster. I've known Matt since the high school days. He played against my son Matthew while he was at Merrimack High School. He was a face-off guy, a good two-way midi. But to see that difference in age and to see some of these kids that I call them kids, but guys that I coached and played against and or not played against but coached against coming back into the fold and going up against an icon as Chris Cameron is really, really cool to see. It really is.
All right, Roger, give me some game plans here. What do each team need to accomplish tonight to get the victory?
Well, I mean, Bishop Guertin is just so deep with their roster and the talent that they have. You've heard me say it before, they're like a Swiss Army knife, so it's going to be hard for Exeter to cover everyone out there and cover them well. One of the things we did see in that Pinkerton game, however, is that their defense was surprisingly good and shut down. Pinkerton couldn't do really a whole lot in that game, but we do want to see, how they handle the Bishop Guertin offense. On the Exeter side, you got to stop Drunzik. You got to key in on him. It'll be interesting to see who they put on Drunzik and just how he plays out. Is he just going to be shadowed the entire game in a 6-on-6 and try and have Exeter just go 5-on-5? It'll be interesting to see what Coach Brewster puts together on that.
All right. When we come back, game time here in Nashua. Cardinals, Bluehawks, Exeter, BG, a rematch of last year's Division I championship game. More in a moment. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today.
At Dead River Company, the work we do is about more than just filling up tanks. It's about the everyday moments in your home. We're here to fix your heating equipment, so you have heat and hot water for moments like this. We brave the elements, so you're always safe and warm. Anytime, day or night. Because it's moments like this that we do everything we do.
Dead River Company. It's not your job to worry about the heat. It's ours.
Become a customer today, and we'll be there for the moments that matter to you.
Oh, wow. Tyler leads again.
All right, ready to go here at Stellos Stadium. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Both teams undefeated against in-state competition. Something has got to give here tonight. Of course, the rematch of last spring's championship game that was a 9-6 Bishop Guertin final. And not a surprise as we look to our friend Joe Marcellena of nh-highschoolsports.com. These two teams have been 1 and 2 in that coaches poll for quite a while. First time, Roger, you were saying off air that BG did not sweep the first place vote category in quite a long time.
Yeah, according to Joe, again at New Hampshire High School Sports, BG has been ranked number 1 for 15 straight weeks of the poll. and my assumption by what he had told me, or at least it was in the story, that they were getting all the votes up until this past week. Yep.
Yeah, of course, they lose for the first time in a while Saturday at Staples against the out-of-state Connecticut Power. And catch the loss. Coach said, you know what, that can be a good thing. Kind of get the undefeated talk out of the way. And well, the players have a big week as well. This week they got Exeter tonight, obviously, and then at BC High on Thursday.
And BC High is one of those highly ranked teams as well, Nick.
And now please rise.
All right, here's the national anthem from Stello Stadium.
Our national anthem.
All right, there it is, the national anthem setting the stage here in Nashua.
Refreshing.
Yes. Unfortunately,
refreshing.
Some of the high schools across the state have neglected the anthem on occasion this spring, but not here at Stello Stadium. Sun is beginning to set, and that may or may not impact the first quarter as the shadows are long, and sometimes, Roger, down on that turf field, it can be hard to see if you're a player.
Yes, and right now the sun isn't too bad because we are getting a little bit of a shadow, as you can see with some of the trees here. We've been here before when it's come right off that body of water across the way, and it's been almost impossible to see the field. Yeah, I don't figure that to be too much of an issue here because of the clouds.
Yeah, there's a lot of cloud cover. Some dark clouds as well. We may or may not get a shower. If so, not expected to last.
Yeah, I did not hear that, but I trust you.
Low percentage is what I heard, so I'd say we're okay. All right, BG in their home whites. They'll head right to left in this first quarter. Exeter in the road blues will head left to right. And a big officiating crew, Roger, down on the field. We get 3 experienced referees.
The top in the field out there, you got Timmy McCaffrey, Sean Murphy here on the 40, and you got Tyler Leeds on the 30.
All right, J.J. Murphy, perhaps the best face-off man in the state. Looks like he's going to win this one for BG as he scoops up the ground ball near side and comes right to left. The senior down the middle, pulls the trigger himself. It's knocked down and stopped by Exeter goaltender Ethan Burnich. The sophomore gets the start tonight. Split time most of the season. Meanwhile, that's Adam Neal who coughed it up on the clear for Exeter. The ride for Bishop Guertin, able to force the turnover, and now the Cardinals with their official first possession here, trying to settle in 40 seconds into this opening quarter.
Yeah, I was surprised at what Coach Brewster said on Sunday about his goalies, that he is switching them off every other game. It's not a, who plays well in practice. It's every other game.
And Ryan Tapman is the junior who got the start against Bishop Guertin in that championship game. Meanwhile, Seipel knocked down on the shot attempt, went all the way to the near pole, ran out of room. Seipel, the talented attackman slash goalie attackman slash midfielder on his way to Brown, missed all of last year with a leg injury. All right, Exeter, they do manage to get out of their own end, and now setting the stage for the senior Aiden Drunzik. Seems like the go-to guy for Coach Brewster on his way to UMass in the fall.
Yeah, and it lines up with Nick Dahl being the long pole that's going to be hugging him all day long.
Like the goaltender, Zach Connerty, got a piece of that centering shot and ultimately secures it in the crease. The outlet is taken, and now we got a foot race. It's Connor Gabord who's going to weave his way down the middle and slow things down now for the home team with 2 minutes gone by first quarter.
Yeah, both teams look a little bit tentative, but hey, like we said before, find out what you got out there on offense and get a set going and find your comfort zone.
Coach Cameron going to make a sub here. Connor Bouvier, one of these returnees for BG.
Nice play.
Looks for Gabord. Shot set aside by Burnich.
Great setup by Connor.
Kept alive behind the cage.
Gun.
Gabord, shot and score. Now that was Brady Dumont deep behind the net. Came up with the initial rebound. They cycle it around quickly. Gabord with good positioning out in front puts the home team out in front, 1-0.
Yeah, couple of good plays there. Connor Bouvier starts off in his right, then goes to his left and finds Gabord, and then they do the same basic thing but from behind, and this time it pays off. So they're obviously looking towards that crease, and they're going to keep things active there in the middle.
So 1-0 Cardinals. BG now 2 for 2 at the face-off. Caleb Young, sophomore midfielder, gets to the ground ball on the wing, and the team in white now setting up, hoping for a 2-0 lead early. This is Young. Getting some instruction, it seems, from the home sideline. Going to flip it over to his classmate, Kevin Broderick. First touch for the sophomore. The defender is Ryan Garrity, one of the long stick for the Blue Hawks. Meanwhile, far side, this is Seipel.
Oh, nice look.
Across the zone, Young couldn't haul it in. Ends up out of bounds, and the Exeter defense celebrates.
Yeah, a lot of looks towards the middle here by the Cardinals. I like it. It's a bit different than their running gun offense.
Meanwhile,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of how they used to run in the old 2-2-2 back maybe 6-7 years ago. Everything was to the dodge, and you get bumped in the alley and look to the middle. It's very similar.
Meanwhile, Neal with room. Senior going to fire off target wide left. Backed up behind the cage by Exeter's Gavin Lechner, the junior. All right, Blue Hawks trying to settle in here for just the second time. They get a screen up top.
Good pick.
Good switch in response defensively for BG. Exeter's going to try the other side. Coming middle, Drunzik, an off-balance shot attempt. Whips his stick wide. And again, it's Lechner in the corner, ready for the restart for Exeter.
Yeah, somehow they got the switch, and Drunzik got the other pole, and now they have to regroup and get Nick Dahl back on him.
This pass off the mark. Sophomore attackman Owen Williams, the intended target. Tried to lunge to his left. It ends up out of play. The Cardinals force turnover number 2. Now 4 minutes in. BG a 1-0 lead and back on the attack. This is Tim Kiley. Junior committed to Sacred Heart. Going to pull it back out to Gabord.
Let's see if Ryan Garrity can keep up with Tim because he is fast.
You can hear the Blue Hawk defense trying to communicate as Bouvier is going to take a shot here from the high slot. Takes a bounce right into the stick of his teammate Aiden Lorendo.
Oh, off the post.
Shot no. Kiley's rebound is going to be waved off.
Yeah, that went off the post and came right back out to Kiley.
Kiley, unfortunately for him, had his foot in the crease, the official all over it. Meanwhile, Exeter again having trouble on the clear. Looking to fight for yardage far side is Gabe Albert, the junior, who eventually does get the step and crosses the 50-yard line here at Stellos. They'll pull it back out, and Exeter with 5 minutes gone by in the game, hoping to tie the contest at 1 apiece. Neal off the pick, left side, going to go baseline extended, or goal line extended. Now, straight behind the cage is Lechner trying to dip that right shoulder.
Whoa.
Draws the slide, pass, looked like it was knocked down, recovered by Neal. Neal, one time, left side. Drunzik will sweep and score. Well, it looked like the Cardinal defense was caught momentarily out of position. Neal able to force the issue. They've got an extra man near the cage and capitalized to tie the game at 1.
Yeah, this has all started because of the pass that went out to the midfield. It got just a brush by a BG defender, and it just stalled them for a while because the defender was going for the ball. And as soon as the Exeter Bluehawks picked that up, they had numbers going in, and it was just a good rotation with Drunzik coming up from the backside.
So the two seniors combined for the Exeter score, Neal to Drunzik. And we're tied at 1 as we approach the midway point of this opening quarter. Now it's on BG to respond. Again, you can hear the Exeter players communicating defensively, and they're getting aggressive here, challenging the Cardinals all over the field.
Yeah.
This, meanwhile, is Young trying to bait the defender, Cole Hiles.
Little Ward there.
And good possession there. Hiles with him step for step when the whistle blew. Meanwhile, Neal, a lot of contact near sideline, avoids 2 defenders.
Nice play.
Bounce pass near side, pulling it out is Williams. Thought about it for a moment. Now Exeter with a chance to grab the lead for the first time as we step inside of 6 minutes, and they'll do it right here. Shot and score on the move.
We're going to have to get a name with a number there because the roster they sent us does not have number 28. Help us out there.
Oh, it's Lazowitz, the freshman. That's who it is. He was originally Roger was in as number 11. He's the freshman who played pretty well when we saw Exeter last time against Pinkerton a couple of weeks back. Scored a goal in that game and played well in the second half. Gets a first quarter score here to put Exeter in front 2-1. Murphy, meanwhile, off the face-off, being hounded from behind. Eventually avoids trouble, and now BG going to take a breath here.
Well, either lost his jersey or forgot it at home, or we got the wrong number. One of those 3.
All's well that ends well. Lazowitz putting Exeter in front 2-1. And now again we see BG with the ball trailing for the first time. Seipel. Hiles right with him. Second defender in the area as well. May have gotten a piece. This one is loose and scooped up on the long pole for Exeter on the near side. Good play by one of the co-captains. That's Roger Smythe.
Very smart play there, too, by Smythe to pull that back and wait till he had defenders off the field and had new bodies for the clear. Very
smart. Drunzik will drop step, trying to power his way right side. Offers up a whizzing shot. A couple inches over that crossbar, out of play.
Now he got double teamed by Dumont and Dahl then, and still got the shot off.
Drunzik wants a one-on-one with one of the Cardinal defenders, Colin Rourke. That shot ended up on the side of the net, it looked like. Pulled out by the BG goaltender, Zach Connerty, the junior, going to step out of the crease. Throws far side, he's got a man. That's Alex Dumont, the long stick midi. Sophomore crosses the 50. And again, BG looks to tie the game as we head towards 4 minutes to go, first quarter. This is Dumont.
A hold?
It's like a hold on the screen.
Wow.
Oh, and now a flag. It's the game's first penalty.
I think number 6 is going to go.
That's Brennan Bucklin.
Ooh, right in.
Shot, knocked down. Connerty waiting for it. Loose ball now near side. Goes to Williams of Exeter. Bluehawks will keep it right here.
Yeah, they ought to slow the pace down right here and get a double.
Meanwhile, Drunzik trying to bury the shoulder. Split defenders in a little trouble. Trying to escape. The ball pops out. Another flag is going to fly. Another ground ball for Exeter's Neal, and now we do get a stoppage here. Yeah. We got 2 penalties, one back at midfield, one now near the cage.
I think
and they're both against Bishop Guertin.
I think he's got a slash on Dumont. Definitely the hold. We see the hold. Oh, delay of game.
All right, it's a 30-second hold on Rourke. Yeah, and he seems like the lone player in the box for PG.
Yeah, that doesn't explain the flag on the far side of the field.
Right. Well, there's 2:30s up on the board. The other penalty looks like is against Alex Dumont. Again, both BG players. I don't see Dumont down in the box.
Yeah.
In fact, he's still on the field. Here's a pass across the zone. Exeter trying to tighten the noose and take a 3-1 lead. Instead, the shot is stopped. Connerty with a good save, and now a timeout is going to be called by Coach Cameron. Just over 3 minutes remaining first quarter. Exeter with an early lead of 2-1. Our broadcast is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com and start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair, it's done while you wait. It's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast, visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. By the Dead River Company, a full-service heating provider committed to keeping New Hampshire warm with propane and heating oil. Learn more at deadriver.com. And finally, by the Bean Group and Roger Howe Real Estate, your local professional for all types of real estate, residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties. Call 603-247-1583. Nick Anastas with Roger Howe here from Stello Stadium in Nashua. Bishop Guertin looking to rebound from a rare defeat. In fact, their lone loss so far, which came over the weekend against out-of-state competition. Exeter looking to stay unbeaten and improve to 10-0. And Roger, right now, the Blue Hawks off to the right start, out in front 2-1.
Yes, they are. And I'm not sure if Coach Brewster was real happy with that last extra man offense that Exeter had. They are still 2 men up on Bishop Guertin, but when you are playing 6-on-4, you are looking for layups. You're not looking for outside shots, especially against a goalie like Connerty.
All right, that timeout, by the way, was called with just 3 seconds remaining on the penalties for BG, so we're back to even strength now as we head towards 3 minutes to go, first period. Meanwhile, escaping traffic is Alex Dunsmore.
That's a hold.
Dunsmore lost it, helped out by his teammate Gabord. BG still with it. Now Bouvier looks to put the move on Neal, trying to avoid a second defender as well. He's being hacked at now from all directions and somehow escapes. Dumont swings to Gabord. Gabord, shot fake, drops his right shoulder again, and now creeping behind the cage is Siebel.
Swarming defense.
Yeah, Exeter's all over him. Tanner Smith, the defender, step for step with Seapole there. Now Dumont finds enough room to get the shot off. It ends up wide of the cage. Off to the left of the goaltender, out of play. Laurendeau ready for the restart in the near corner. Coming up on 2 minutes, first quarter. BG scored the first goal. Exeter has scored the last 2. Cardinals hoping to tie the game at 2. Here is number 2, Kiley, to his left. Eyeing the cage, draws a slide, forced to give it up. Bouvier on the far side, goes upstairs, too high there. They've gotten a piece, it looked like, of the right hand of the goaltender, Burnich, who may have come up in a little bit of pain there.
Yeah, they've got to recover quicker on that. When you double Kiley and you leave that backside open, that's Bouvier.
Well, Laurendeau shakes the defender behind the net. Ends up wide, though, of the offering out in front. Tough to play defense right behind the net, I'd imagine, trying to dodge the equipment and keep up with the player. Right?
I used to love playing behind as a defender. I used to. It was one of the things I enjoyed. But yes, you got to watch what you're doing with your footwork. That's for sure.
Bouvier's offering again is high. And out of play. Bouvier, of course, as we mentioned earlier, on his way to Holy Cross. His sister is a pretty good lacrosse player in her own right. We'll leave it at that for BG as well. Very talented on her way to Stanford. Here's Bouvier.
Nice look.
Looks for Kiley, who finds the back of the net. Well, almost like a one-time there. Just out in front of the net. Kylie finishes. We're tied at 2.
Yeah, I think this actually just kind of grazes off. Did he actually hit the full?
I'd like to see the replay.
The full head of his stick on this. It comes in. No, he just kind of deflects it like Bergeron.
Yeah, that pass looked like it almost hit the ground and Kylie's stick at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrific finish, and we're tied at 2. Another face-off win for Bishop Guertin. Dunsmore with speed down the middle. Home team wants to lead again. Seipel fires upstairs. Burnich overhead save for Exeter.
Well, he had an eye on that the second he wound up on it. I could tell Burnich's stance and the way he had his stick held. He knew where it was going.
Inside of 2 minutes. In fact, down to 1 minute. First quarter. At what point, Roger, do you start thinking maybe final shot? Too early with a minute on the clock? What's the ideal time if you're a coach?
Because it's tied right now, I wind it right down to maybe 15, 10 seconds, somewhere in there. I don't push the goal right now unless it's a layup.
Drunzik going to fire.
I wouldn't do that. Now you're giving BG another chance. This is where they're deadly.
30 seconds. Is it enough time?
Yes.
Cardinals coming right to left. Dunsmore splits defenders who both take a whack and come up empty. Dunsmore to Seipel. Seipel going to pull it out. Down to 15 seconds. Coach Cameron waving his hand on the sideline.
He wants Bouvier. Bouvier had...
Seipel gets inside the defender, gets knocked down from behind. 3 Blue Hawks in the area. They come up with the ball, and that'll do it for the first quarter. 2-2 here in Nashua. 2 best teams in D1, even through 12 minutes. Right back to Stello Stadium in just a moment. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, 2-2, our score after 1 here in Nashua. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. First of 3 broadcasts this week. Tomorrow night, we're in Bedford for a huge meeting on the girls' side, Portsmouth and Bedford. That comes your way at 6 o'clock. And then on Friday, we're in Wyndham for a boys Division II matchup between St. Thomas and Wyndham. 2-2 here between these 2 D1 heavyweights. BG defeated Exeter in last spring's championship round. Won the first 7 on the schedule here in 2022. Caught their lone loss back on Saturday against Staples of Connecticut on the road out of state. Exeter, they beat Axton Boxborough, one of the perennial powers in Massachusetts, over the weekend, and they come in riding high at 9-0. So,
playing without the stick.
Meanwhile, Murphy is going to lose. No. Who won the face-off there?
He won it clean, but it came out of his stick.
Okay, so Exeter has it. I'm sorry.
Well, he dropped his stick, so.
No whistle and a timeout is called by Coach Brewster. Exeter has possession. They call their first timeout here just seconds into the second quarter as we get a replay there. Well, BG, they had won all 5 face-offs. Murphy has the senior on his way to Bryant. We've talked to him several times over the year, one of the better wrestlers during the wintertime for Bishop Guertin. Saw his parents before the game in the parking lot. Looks like a good kid by all accounts, of course, but such a major weapon as dominant as he has been at the X over the years now. He's a 4-year starter for Coach Cameron. Just invaluable over the years, right?
Well, yeah, Coach Cam even said this past weekend, he commented on the fact that one of the issues they had against Staples was the fact that they rely on JJ at being, 90% plus on his faceoffs every game, and he was a little over 50, and this is what I know I have said constantly is that, if you can't shut down JJ or any other really good face-off guy out there, the young man from Pinkerton, number 8,
Frank.
Frank, yeah. Ball possession is where it's at.
All right, Exeter. Again, looking for the lead. This is Owen Williams, the sophomore. Trying to dazzle here along the near wing, and they'll move it around. Blue Hawks with goals from Drunzik and Lazowitz in that first period.
By the way, I thought it was kind of smart by Coach Brewster to call a timeout there and get, that's not in the plan, I'm sure. But to try and get your offense, at the very beginning of the quarter, to try and pay off something to go ahead, you got 2, and, might as well use them.
BG takes it off the turnover.
Ooh.
Nearly give it right back themselves, but Dumont able to recover in the corner. The official going to blow the whistle. Looks like there's a loose ball over there.
Maybe the wrong ball. It looks like he threw it over by the fence.
Meanwhile, a blow-by move. Dumont, Gabord, and now near side. Across zone, Gabord. Jab step down, shot knocked down by Burnich. Lorendo right there in the cage. Spins twice. Burnich, another save. Boy, the sophomore brought his A game today. 4 saves in that first quarter. Makes a spectacular stop there. Going to have to do it again, and does.
So
shot whipped quickly along the near pole. Burnich able to stop it, it looked like, with the left arm.
Yeah, we're starting to see these wings getting their takes. Bouvier in the first quarter, and this last play here. The wings are getting open, and they're getting that skip pass through.
Lorendo.
Wow, another one.
Burnich stops and then clamps down behind the cage to ensure the possession. How about 3 saves on that possession alone for the sophomore? We've got 2 minutes now gone by second quarter.
He has already matched his save total for the first quarter.
Neal for Drunzik. Hard sprint to the middle.
This makes sense.
Nick Dahl, the long pole, with him step for step. Drunzik thought he was hit up by the helmet area. Look for the officials, no call. Drunzik now behind the net. The UMass commit. Looking middle, fires a shot off the crossbar. You could hear it up here. Rebound going to roll all the way to the far side, out of play. It'll stay with Exeter.
Yeah, I like that they're letting Drunzik roam free here a little bit.
Almost sniped that inside corner.
No.
Williams. Shot backed up by Drunzik. Looking for a cutter, and Neal can't quite pull it in traffic. And now Dunsmore shoots out of a cannon left to right for BG. Cardinals looking to fire in transition. It's stopped again by Burnich.
Off the mark, though.
Outlet dropped in the middle. Overhead pass, too much for Albert. Dunsmore make that C-pull now, spinning down to the ground. A flag flies. Whistle will stop it with 3 minutes gone by second quarter, and it looks like the first penalty is on the way against the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold. 23. Mr. Albert.
Yeah, that's Albert, who's upset with himself as he comes to the sideline. First EMO for BG. Cardinals look to retake the lead. They scored the opening goal about 2 minutes into the game. They're going to take a shot here that Burnich is going to swallow up again. Cardinals held that 1-0 lead on the Connor Gabord goal for less than 3 minutes. Aiden Drunzik scored for Exeter. A couple of minutes later, his teammate Marshall Lazowitz, the freshman, gave Exeter their first lead, which was again brief. As only a few minutes later, Tim Kiley tied it at 2 late in that first quarter, and that's where we are with now 3.5 gone by in this second quarter, tied at 2.
You know, some would say that Brady Dumont taking that shot.
As Williams fires wide left, or did Connor D get a piece? I think he may have, yep.
Off his thigh,
It's loose, and still loose.
There we go.
Exeter's got it.
Yeah, let me finish my thought there. That's a 30-second penalty. You go one perimeter and you get to the cage, and if that's the opening that they give you, you take it.
Drunzik wants a one-on-one with Dahl. Comes there, and Dahl pops it away. Kiley the ground ball. Cardinals have it. And Junior still in transition along the near sideline. Now 4 minutes in, second quarter. And again, BG looks to retake the lead. Coach Cameron going to shuffle the cards and get some fresh legs on.
Jake Guertin comes on the attack side.
The backup midfield line as well. Young here on the near wing. Going to go behind the cage. Touch for Jake Guertin, as you mentioned, the freshman, number 44 in white, getting some time. Dumont. Cardinals showing patience here. Broderick, drop step to his right. Gets inside the defender, but runs out of room.
Good bump.
The Exeter fans who made the drive south clapping their hands. Here's a shot and a score. Well, what a shot from that far side wing. Connor Hughes, the junior, with the defender bearing down, able to pull the trigger, put the Cardinals back out in front 3-2 with now 5 minutes gone by, second quarter.
Yeah, I've been thinking in the back of my head as Connor Bouvier missed those 2 wing shots, and looking at how that offense is rotating. This is open. This is open for the Cardinals. They're looking far side, away from the ball, and they're finding guys to do step downs. Let's see how that develops and see how the defense can pick up on that and start covering it.
Meanwhile, Murphy wins another face-off. That's 6 of 7. Gets a fist bump as he heads back to the sideline. BG looking for the third unanswered, dating back to late in the first quarter as we come up on the midway point of this second quarter. Gabord looking to attack the defense. Absorbs a hit, fires on the run. Set aside again by Burnich. Well, as we talked about, a good problem for Exeter head coach Matt Brewster to have. 2 very talented goaltenders. We mentioned Burnich's his teammate Ryan Tapman, the junior. Coach Brewster told us Sunday morning wasn't sure who was going to get the start today. Shot and score. Kiley on the run finds the 5-hole for his second goal.
Speed kills. This guy's got speed. He's both hands. He had a good step on the Blue Hawk defender there, and you just can't get caught up in that speed trap with him finding all that space. He just goes right by the short stick midfielder. I mean, he wasn't even within 4 or 5 yards of him by the time he let go of that ball.
An explosive first step. Another face-off win for BG. And again, the home team looking to build on momentum. They've opened up their first 2-goal lead of the game here midway through second quarter. Scored now 3 unanswered, dating back to the 2-minute mark in the first quarter.
Yep, Coach Cam puts his first line right back out there. Give him a little bit of a break.
Gabord. Goal line extended. He's got the one-on-one to his left. Gets the step, shot, and score. Well, these players making some individual plays. First, Kiley gets the step. Gabord showing the speed and quickness. He gets his second goal. And BG's got something brewing here. It's 5-2.
Well, I like what's going on here because in the first quarter it was clear that the Cardinals were looking to move that ball towards the middle and see if they could find rotations from the crease attackman, whoever that was. And now they are just going to go one-on-one and try and move this defense and find back doors and one-on-one, wins as far as getting to the cage. Different game plan.
Murphy now 8-1 at the X. Extra pass. Neal comes over with a big hit on Laurendo. And thus Laurendo's offering ends up wide.
Interesting that Burnich had 5 straight saves and now 3 goals. Boom, boom, boom. Game of runs.
Tough to stop. Those up-close shots when, your defender is behind the shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, the defenders, as well as they've played here in this first half, they've gotten beat on 2 plays, and the Cardinals have made them pay.
Yes.
And not much I don't think Burnich could have done differently.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I said you can see a clear difference in the offense, the way they're running it.
Seapole with a no-look pass for Hughes across the zone. Pulled in off the turf and now back upstairs. Broderick to his right, shoots, and Burnich has got a line on that one.
Nick, if you recall Dawson Clark last year being on that far wing, how many times we saw them go skip over to him. It looks very similar to that offense from last year.
Of course, Clark ended up at Army after graduating. This one thrown away into the Exeter bench.
Him and teammate John Sullivan.
Right. A couple of Cardinals doing well down at West Point. All right, here's Dunsmore. Comes middle for Kiley. BG back in possession. They've won the time of possession battle. We've mentioned the face-off numbers, but, Exeter not helping themselves, turning it over in their own end, as we saw prior to this possession. Kiley going to force one. Ill-advised as Burnich was ready. Blue Hawks going to handle the clear. And come right to left. Looking for their first goal of this second quarter. And trying to claw their way back within 2.
Yeah, they need a good possession here. They can't throw the ball away like they did that last possession.
This is Albert. To his left. Had the step on Kiley. Gives it up. Going to cycle it for Lechner behind the cage. Spin move on Rourke. The long pole stays with him. Pretty good effort by Rourke. Slide comes over. Ball comes out. Albert trying to find it for Exeter. It's still loose on the far side. Williams takes a tumble. Rourke has it for the Cardinals. Whips it back near side of the field. Now Dahl wants to run. Up ahead for Gabord at midfield. Comes near side for Dumont. Thought about it. Has a man. Ends up in the net. Trying to find Alex Dumont in the middle. The long stick midi. Couldn't quite find it. However, the ball kept going, took an odd bounce, and gets by Burnich into the goal to make it now 6-2 BG.
Well, there's 2 glance off the head of the lacrosse stick goals that the Cardinals have benefited from today. The first one being Kiley there in the first quarter, and now the defender gets his points. Way to go, Alex.
So 6-2 BG. They've scored 5 in a row, dating back to late in the first quarter as we move inside of 3 minutes here until halftime. Coming up at halftime, a full look back at the first half, stats, highlights, analysis, plus an out-of-town scoreboard to get to as well. That's all coming up at halftime. Laurendo, kind of a Superman shot there, flies through the air, but was well wide of the target. Cardinals will settle in here again. It's been a dominating second quarter, a dominant second quarter for the home team.
Indeed.
Lights are on here at Stellos. As you mentioned, the sun beginning to set here as we head towards 7 o'clock local time. Young to his left. Shot on the run, knocked down by Burnich. Rebound near side for Seapole. Again goes across the zone. Hughes not ready for it on that far wing, and it's turned back over to Exeter. Well, the Blue Hawks looking for something here just before halftime, Roger. After the game was tied, coming into the second quarter at 2 apiece.
Yeah, they need to get a spark here They really need to get a good possession. They have not held the ball down this end of the field very often this second quarter. And I'd be looking at Drunzik and Lechner. I'd be looking at, those guys on attack. See what we can get going with Neal. Neal's been a great two-way midi today, but he hasn't had much on offense.
Had an assist earlier. This is Lazowitz. Well, the freshman will give you a little bit of an uptick. His second goal of this first half, and that bouncer somehow ends up top shelf. Blue Hawks get the answer they need. They're back within 3.
Now, I've said it before, that you don't often see this kind of smart play by a freshman. That's a junior, senior type of experienced goal scorer going big bounce on it. We love the big bounces. And there it was. He timed it and got the good bounce right up in the corner.
Meanwhile, Murphy, after winning the faceoff, had it knocked away from behind. A waist-high ground ball, waved at. Murphy, though, is ultimately the man to secure it. Now a timeout is called by Coach Cameron. Well, it looked like for a moment anyway, Exeter defender Ryan Guertin had the inside track on that lengthy ground ball. However, Murphy, to his credit, stays involved in the play and ultimately secures the ground ball and thus the possession here with 1:19 to go before halftime.
Yeah, good teams / great teams are excellent on ground balls. If you are scrumming for that ball and you're coming out more often than not on the successful side of a ground ball situation, you're also going to see a lot of success. And, J.J. Murphy's got to, thank his wingmen that are, assisting him on faceoffs because they are getting a lot of ground balls. And then, of course, in between the boxes, if you're dealing with a lot of sloppy transition, which we have seen a lot of this year, especially early on, if you've got a team that can gobble up the ground balls, it makes all the difference in the world. It's one of the reasons why they stat that, all levels of the sport.
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely
winning the ground ball battle and the faceoffs, it's going to be hard to beat.
All right, 6-3 BG. As we head down the stretch here in the first half, 1:19 remaining. All right, let's see if Coach Cameron's got something specific here after burning his second and final timeout there.
We're going to call this the slow burn offense, Nick. You don't want to give Exeter the ball back. They got a goal, quickie on you, a good goal. You don't want to give them momentum going into the second half. And this is just going to be a slow burn offense. Just kill this clock.
Gabor to his right, trying to draw some of the Exeter defenders out. Long pass, going to get through everybody.
Look at it.
And, yeah, you can't do that. He's a good 5 yards over the line.
Yeah, that is not what Coach Cam wanted.
That's the junior Dylan Young making a mistake there at the wrong yardage line. Minute to go. Exeter. They catch maybe a break there on the defensive end, and now they have a chance to get another and climb their way back within 2 before halftime, down to 45 seconds.
It might be time for a timeout here.
Coach Brewster's got one left.
Yes, he does.
Drunzik
Nice.
gets inside a goal and finishes near the cage and also draws a flag after taking a hit on the shot. Drunzik's second goal. He's got Exeter back within 2. It's 6-4, and again, a Cardinal penalty on the way.
Yeah, I think this is going to go on Gabord. It's going to be either unnecessary, late hit. Dahl gets caught with the gate down. Drunzik comes in, and Gabord side swipes him. Timing call. It's a good call, but, So they'll go down. They'll probably try for something here. They're going to get a free ball, no face, because that happened after the shot.
Minute on the board. The penalty clock. Inside of 30 seconds remaining on the game clock. Backdoor pass intercepted. A good defensive read there by Rourke, who took away the no-look. A quick clear for BG. They're down to 10 seconds. Got a fake clock countdown from the Exeter bench.
Huge.
Burnich, another big stop at the doorstep. Drunzik trying to secure the ground ball. A number of players in that big pile as the final seconds tick off here. We are at halftime. BG, after a dominant second quarter, able to build up a 6-2 lead. However, Exeter scores twice in the final minute to get back within shouting distance at halftime. Cardinals through 2 quarters with a 6-4 lead on the board here in Nashua.
A little bit of sloppy play to end that half on both sides. Exeter had a prime opportunity to at least put one in there with that penalty, and they just didn't get the look that they wanted. So here we go. Second half, here we come.
All right, coming up, a full recap of that first half. Roger's got the stats over there. We'll get those to you in a moment, plus some out-of-town scores as well as we get you caught up with the action here on a Tuesday night in week number 4. Halftime here at Stellos, BG 6, Exeter 4. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today.
At Dead River Company, the work we do is about more than just filling up tanks. It's about the everyday moments in your home. We're here to fix your heating equipment, so you have heat and hot water for moments like this. We brave the elements, so you're always safe and warm. Anytime, day or night. Because it's moments like this that we do everything we do.
Dead River Company, it's not your job to worry about the heat. It's ours.
Become a customer today, and we'll be there for the moments that matter to you.
Well, start of the second half here in Nashua. Bishop Guertin out in front of Exeter, 6-4. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Good crowd tonight here at Stello Stadium. A lot of folks in the know in the lacrosse world here in the Granite State keeping their eye on this game, whether they're here or not. Two of the best teams in Division I, the defending champion BG, looking to beat Exeter for the second time in a calendar year. They knocked off the Blue Hawks last spring in June in the championship round by a final of 9-6. Cardinals in 22, looking to improve to 8-1 and rebound from their lone loss of the year against Staples, Connecticut back on Saturday. Of course, Exeter after a 9-0 start, hoping to stay undefeated. 2-2 after one. Connor Gabord gave BG an early lead, 1-0. Aiden Drunzik, Marshall Lazowitz went back-to-back for Exeter to give the Blue Hawks a brief lead. Late in that first quarter, Tim Kiley tied the game for BG, and that's where we were after 2-2. And then the Cardinals got hot. They scored the first 4 goals of that second quarter. Connor Hughes, a second from Tim Kiley, a second for Connor Gabord, and then one from Alex Dumont at about the 3-minute mark, gave the home team their largest lead, 6-2. Exeter, they saved some face there at the end of the quarter, scoring twice in the final minute. The freshman Lazowitz with his second, and then Drunzik's second. Makes it now 6-4, and that's where we are here on the eve of this third quarter.
Quick house cleaning. I want to apologize to the Londonderry Lancers and Coach Roger Sampson. Last game we did at Derryfield, I got a tweet, which was the girls' score at the time. And Londonderry subsequently, the boys' team, that is, they won their game against Bedford that day 5-2. So my apologies to the Lancer lacrosse program over there. Second thing I want to bring up, and you talk about historical. I learned yesterday that I got to think for possibly the first time ever in New Hampshire lacrosse history, a son and a father coached against each other. Rick Erta, who has been the head coach at Milford High School for many, many years. I've known Rick a long time. I think he's the football coach, too, is he not? Or is he involved in football over there, too?
Well, the name Erta and football might as well be the same thing.
There we go.
Given how many different football players have come out of that family over the years.
His son, Harrison, who played at Eastern Connecticut and played against my son, Matthew, at Keene State, he is the head coach at Stevens up in Claremont. And for the first time ever, they coached against each other yesterday. The outcome for Stevens was not that good. They were shut out. I think it was 13-0, but I had never heard of that in all my years of being involved in high school lacrosse. So congratulations to them. This game is pretty simple. Exeter needs to retain the ball. They need possession. That possession in the second quarter was well lopsided in favor of the Cardinals. They need to clear better, and their clearing was getting better because they put Mr. Neal on the clear most of the time. They did not try to force the passes out because of the immensely aggressive Bishop Guertin ride. BG, they just need to do what they're doing. They look a little bit sloppy at both ends of that first and second quarter, but you know how they regroup and they can recover and bob and weave. So looking forward to a good second half here.
All right, 6-4 as we head to the third quarter. Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance, week number 4 statewide. And what do we got for scores tonight, Roger? Anything trickling in yet or not quite?
I'm going to get this one right. Concord went to Londonderry today, and Londonderry won that one 10-6. And that's right off the Lancers tweet, and I'm not relying on somebody else to get that information to me. We got Nashua North at Keene Monadnock, and the other game, we've got a real good game in Division II, Derryfield at Winnicott. I'm trying to get that score, too.
That's a rematch between the Warriors and the Cougars from a 9-6 victory for Derryfield back on opening day. Meanwhile, this kid has been impressive as usual. The senior J.J. Murphy with another face-off win for Bishop Guertin. The only one he didn't win in that first half was on a technicality.
That's correct. Yeah, I actually that's going to give him number 12. And for as many face-off wins as Murphy has, our friend Burnich is, or Burnich, that is. I'm sorry. He is. He's got 13 saves.
Yeah, 13 saves, a big number for the sophomore in a big game for Exeter. His defense trying to help him here. They force an errant pass that's going to take a bounce back to the 50. Is kicked by a BG player. That was Dylan Young.
Has to be the stick.
Exeter will take over. Neal quickly the other way. Blue Hawks scored 2 last-minute goals in the final minute. Just before halftime, if they can score here on this trip, that would be 3 in a row. Setting up shop here with a minute gone by. Big crowd that keeps getting bigger, Roger. Take a look around, and it's probably twice as full now as maybe it was at the start of the game.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about that off air, about how well the Exeter side was populated, and BG was a little bit behind, but the crew came out and started decorating, and then the student body followed.
Yeah. Several members of the BG girls team are in the mix as well, trying to support the boys. All right, Exeter taking their time here. Coach Brewster watching from the visitor sidelines. Got to be pretty pleased with the patience the attack has shown. It's going to set up a shot for Lazowitz, and the freshman's got the hat trick. Good movement there. They go to the weak side wing, and the young trigger man was ready. It's now a 1-goal game at 6-5 BG.
Where did this guy come from? I mean, this guy has got some skills, man. Left-handed step down, great bounce shot in the second quarter, and he just drops the elbows, the arms, everything, and he gets a good change of planes on that. Nice job.
Another face-off win for Murphy as BG looks for an answer. Dunsmore, a little start and stop. Comes up at the clear, and now Larendo thought about it, pulls it back out.
Boy,
well, at one point, sorry, Roger, I was about to say, at one point it looked like BG was ready to really grab the bull by the horns and take control of this game. A 6-2 lead on the board, less than 3 minutes to go before halftime, but Exeter says think again. It's just a 1-goal game now.
Yeah, and I was going to say that Lazowitz, he's a freshman.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about him for the next 3 years.
You even have the right number on the original roster sheet.
Yeah.
And he's fought his way not only onto the varsity team as a freshman, not only now seemingly an important player, but how about the leading scorer in a huge game here? He's got 3 goals to lead everybody on either roster.
Great defense there. Loved what I just saw.
You can hear the Blue Hawks sideline fired up as a result.
Yeah, we're going to be hearing more about Mr. Smythe throughout the season. He's going to be an all-state candidate for sure.
This kid's not bad either. Number 13 in blue, Tanner Smith. Sophomore has hung with Seapole more often than not tonight.
That's the matchup you want to see on Tim Kiley right there. You want to see Neal on Tim.
Two of the quicker players on the field. Shot stopped. That's save number 14 for Burnich after a lengthy possession. Meanwhile, Neal lost the ball and his stick. We get a quick whistle. It's given back to the Cardinals.
Good for Kiley.
Over the middle. Kiley's shot may have been deflected. It's out of play. Burnich, good hustle out of the cage. Couldn't quite get there.
Wow, Tim Kiley's got both sides of the ball going on. He did not allow Neal a whole lot of breathing room on that clear.
Kiley 2 goals in that first half. His teammate Connor Gabord with 2 as well to lead BG before halftime. Up top, Bouvier, a dancing move to his left, draws a slide. Pass taken low by Seapole. Wants the one-on-one with the junior. Going to pull it back out deep on the wing. Up top again for Kiley. 4 minutes already gone by, third quarter. Kiley moving quickly. Stopped there by Burnich. Looks like a low save that time for the sophomore goaltender. His 15th in this game.
He's starting to look like a ice hockey goaltender. Feet are flying, legs are getting in the way, arms are up.
Looks like he's got a piece of pretty much everything.
He's seeing the ball. He's getting the body part in front of it. That's the thing. A goalie doesn't just, throw body parts out there.
The senior for Exeter, Matt Denman, turned it over. Seapole weaving his way through is going to score. Well, he was able somehow to circle through about 3 different Blue Hawk defenders before pulling the trigger on the doorstep and getting his first goal to put his team back out in front by 2-7-5.
Yeah, he's worked hard on the last couple of shifts here and has figured in some of the ball touches on the offense. But, man, he just kind of drags his stick through that mess, and no body really touches him, which gives him a chance to bring his arms up and pop that ball past Burnich.
7-5 BG. Murphy, another face-off win. Does it cleanly at the X. And now Dunsmore with another clear. Dunsmore down the middle, wants one himself. Bouncing shot, swallowed up. Another stop for Burnich. Neal knocked down. Seapole with the steal, and now a flag is going to fly.
Can you get him up about the head? No.
The shot upstairs.
Push.
Neal back on his feet. It looks like they have had a word for Seapole.
I think it's going to be a push here. Yeah, push. Could have been a cross-check, but he had his hands in, so that was smart.
30 seconds on the board.
Did not extend his hand, so that's why it's a push.
BG committed a double penalty back in the first half. It's their first sense. It comes 5 minutes with 5 minutes gone by third quarter. Seapole down on his right knee, having a word with Coach Cameron in the penalty box. Exeter trying to get back to one. Lazowicz, shot knocked down. Connerty trying to traffic, pulls it in overhead to secure the rebound. Long outlet hits Dumont on the run. This is Alex Dumont. Got a man to his left. Extra pass to the goal. Finished off by Warrendo. Some tic-tac-toe. They get the stop, they get the outlet, they get the clear, they get the extra pass, and they get the up-close and personal finish to make it 8-5.
Man, that makes the pain of a attackman sitting in the box for a technical penalty that much easier to swallow when you got that kind of ball movement and transition off a save. Man, and I got to tell you, Connerty saw that long pole heading downfield, Alexander Dumont, just a second, and that's all it took to get that ball upfield. Well done.
A short-handed goal. Now Murphy. Full speed down the middle after another face-off win. Pull it out and jog back to the sideline as Dumont takes over. Coming up in the midway point, third quarter. BG, a little more breathing room after back-to-back goals. They've got an 8-5 lead, and now look for another.
And here's a name we haven't said, I don't think, ever in a BG broadcast. Robert Canaway with an assist on that. Everybody likes to hear their name on the broadcast.
Canaway, he's a good basketball player. Part of that rotation during the wintertime. And getting some playing time on this BG team. Get involved there on the break. Meanwhile, Exeter gets a stop and now a chance to twiddle it down to 2 as we move inside of the 6-minute mark, third quarter. Here's Neal. Had an assist on the offensive end in that first half. Going to split defenders. Draw a third man, Dunsmore to his left. Not Dunsmore, rather, but Dumont. Now behind the net. Spin move for Lechner. Looks for a screen from Drunzik. Coach Cameron wanted a moving pick there.
He did turn his body. He didn't plant his feet.
Neal to his right. Shot. A little wide. Knocked down in the netting behind the cage. A little bit of room there off the pick for Neal to pull the trigger, but off target.
Yeah, I don't know if I would take that shot. 10 yards out, Conrady had a good look at it. Unless you're dealing with a shot clock.
Meanwhile, the Exeter ride going to get it right back.
That's something we really haven't seen a lot of today, Nick. We haven't seen them ride aggressively like that.
Cardinals have taken pretty good care of the ball on the clear, but not on that trip.
Well, you know what, too, and I was just thinking, we haven't seen a lot of balls go out of bounds on the offense, whether it was, with Exeter or Bishop Guertin, which would cause a settled clear. We've seen a lot of just, quick whistle saves or quick whistle, loose ball push for change of possession, but we really haven't seen a lot of settled clears today.
Exeter trying to get back within 2. Lechner. One-on-one goal line extended. Slide comes, drops it off Williams up top.
Oh, nice.
Albert, extra pass. Lazowitz, one more. BG recovers.
There.
Drunzik scores anyway. Boy, a tough angle shot there for the senior. His third brings Exeter back within 2 at 8-6.
Hey, you youngsters out there, when you hear your coach telling you to move the ball, and one more, this is a prime example why. If we can get it here the whole way, we don't. But there was at least 5 rotational passes around the perimeter before it got to Drunzik. Well done by Exeter. I love it when they can move the defense.
The UMass commit with the hat trick. Meanwhile, BG's Murphy continues to dominate at the X. Gets the Cardinals the ball back as we move towards 4 minutes, third quarter. Lights are on here at Stellhouse and becoming more and more necessary as this sun continues to set. I like these under the lights games, Roger. I know you're the early afternoon guru, but to me, the varsity should always play under the lights.
Yeah, and I fought for that for years. I know Coach Gerard did too at Bedford, but we never, during my tenure there, we never really had a whole lot of night games, and I want to say my old brain is working right. The first night game we actually had back then was against Bishop Guertin, and that broke the streak that Bedford had going at that point.
That's right. I was on the call for that game.
Yep.
Along with Coach Hetler of Dairyfield. Meanwhile, a good stop by Burnage, but he can't do it again. Nice shot there. It comes from nearly 15 yards out. Kevin Broderick takes advantage of the scrambling goaltender who couldn't quite regain the positioning after the initial stop. BG back in front by 3-9-6.
This is the lacrosse equivalent to clearing out in front of the net in ice hockey. You've got to, once your goalie makes a great save like that, you've got to get possession of that ball and let things get reset, and it just did not work there.
Broderick's first. Cardinals by 3, another face-off win. Murphy finally gets rid of it. Heads back to the sideline. BG a chance to match their largest lead from late in the second quarter, as we're now late in the third with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I just got a feeling that the Blue Hawks defense right now is a little bit fatigued, and the last thing you want to see when you're tired out there on the defensive midfield is number 2. You don't want to see this kid.
Here he comes, maybe the quickest player on the field.
Good play.
Gabord off the shot fake is going to bounce one in. Another patient possession that pays off for BG. Hat trick time for Gabord. And again, the Cardinals match their largest lead from back in the first half. They're out in front by 4 again, 10-6.
Yeah, Timmy Kiley, he gets credit with an assist in my book on this one. He draws the defense. They pull towards him for the slide. Second slide opens up. He pops it over to Bouvier. Bouvier instantly gets it down into Gabord. That's the way you play this game, guys.
There's a face-off win for Exeter. Some much-needed good news, and Coach Brewster going to have to call a timeout to keep the possession.
You got to do that. That is a great timeout, Nick.
Roger Smythe, the defender, one of the co-captains, came up with the ground ball and was nearly trapped, it looked like, by 3 different Cardinals along the sideline. Coach Brewster uses his first timeout. Our broadcast is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Also by New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait. It's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the Seacoast. Visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. By the Dead River Company, a full-service heating provider committed to keeping New Hampshire warm with propane and heating oil. Learn more at deadriver.com. And finally, by the Bean Group and Roger Howe Real Estate, your local professional for all types of real estate, residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties. Call 603-247-1583. Nick Anastas with Roger Howe. Ticking down towards 2 minutes to go. Third quarter in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. BG has led most of the way. And now we're out in front by their largest lead of 10-6. Looking to make it 11-6 on this trip. Or I'm sorry, Exeter's got the ball. Hoping to trim the Cardinals' lead back. They get the back door, and there's the finish. Pretty pass on a beautiful cut. Matt Denman, the senior midfielder, able to slam it home for his first goal. Exeter out of the timeout. Roger executes, and they're back within 3 at 10-7.
Yeah, I want to see the dry erase board from Coach Brewster. This looks like this was totally drawn up, and it was programmed to get the ball to Denman or someone on that side, inside. Well done. I love it.
We got a 3-goal game again. Meanwhile, it's not J.J. Murphy at the X, but his backup Mitchell Lynch, the senior committed to Southern New Hampshire. Gets some help on the wing from Dumont. Now Dunsmore is going to fire and score. That's one of the co-captains right there, Alex Dunsmore. Senior committed to St. Anselm. In the future, Hawk is going to score to make it 11-7. Now both attacks, Roger, starting to pick up some momentum here late in the third quarter.
Yeah, I wonder if that's something that Coach Cameron, actually coaches, is that when you give up a goal like the one that just happened there by the Blue Hawks, and then you come right back and win the face-off, you take it right to the net and you just try to sever any momentum. There's a win for Exeter.
Yep.
And then it comes right back.
A rare loss for Murphy, but the Cardinals end up with it. Murphy going to jog off the field, and BG's going to go right back to work with 90 seconds to go in this third quarter. Again, looking for their first 5-goal advantage of the game. Again, that Blue Hawks sideline can be heard from the defense and the sideline. They've been communicating well throughout the game. Cardinals undeterred. They might be thinking one shot here, Rogers, as we hit the 1-minute mark.
Yes, again, same idea. Keep the ball.
Bouvier. Swing it near side for Kiley. Kiley to his left, back to his right. Gonna fire and score. Wow, that one a laser from deep that just sneaks inside the near pole. Cardinals by 5 for the first time, 12-7.
Well, you think that this guy's going to go down the alley in his left hand, which is his strength, and then he just pulls up, turns, and goes into his right and just rips a low shot. There's no. I don't even know how Burnich could even see that. He had 2 defenders in front of him, but great play by Timmy.
It's the 6th goal of this third quarter for BG. Murphy to Seipel. Closed out well by Neal. Goes back up top. Murphy going to drop the shoulder and stay in here on the offensive possession, at least for now. With 30 seconds remaining third quarter, now Murphy gets rid of it and jogs off the sideline. Dunsmore takes over. Back to the middle with 20 seconds remaining. Going to be picked up by Neal. Dunsmore keeps it himself. Going to sprint now behind the net. Laurindo with 10 seconds. Far side, Neal all over him. Trying to get inside of Neal. Lost his footing. A whistle. May have stepped in the crease. Going to give it back to Exeter. 4 seconds. Outlet for Neal. Neal is going to run off the remainder of the clock, and that'll do it for quarter number 3. Another big quarter for the home team. BG saw their lead threaten there for a moment, but in the end up with 6 goals in the frame and have a 5-goal lead on the board with 12 minutes to go. Fourth quarter next. BG out in front 12-7. Will the Cardinals get the victory on their home field, or will Exeter stay unbeaten? We begin to find out next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Nashua. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. It's one a good one. BG scored first. Exeter responded with 2 in a row back in that first quarter, and that's the last time the Blue Hawks held the lead. BG would tie the game at 2 heading into the second quarter and then score the first 4 goals of that frame. Built up a 6-2 lead going into the final minute before halftime. Exeter would cash in with back-to-back goals just before the break to make it 6-4. And then quite a day for the Blue Hawk freshman Marshall Lazowitz. Scored his 3rd goal early in that third quarter to bring Exeter back within 6-5. But that's as close as Exeter has come here in the second half, as BG scores 6 in that third quarter and lead by their largest margin to begin this fourth quarter, 12-7.
Yeah, you can't keep asking Burnich to, keep pulling you out of these situations where they're getting prolonged shots and possessions on your team. You've got to get possession here, and you've got to start putting the ball in the net. You've got to figure this out, too.
It's been a one-sided affair at the X. J.J. Murphy of BG has won, all but 3, I think, so far tonight.
That's correct. 19-3 until that one. Now it's 20.
Laurindo coming middle, looking for Seipel back door. Junior wasn't quite ready, and that one turned over.
Good idea, though. I like what he did there. He saw the attackman, Seipel, kind of parked right there on the crease. He just made a poor pass. Look at the trap right in the middle of the field. Love it.
They're waiting for Neal.
They're waiting.
Comes with a short pass near side. No problem for Denman. Senior going to cycle it near side for Drunzik. He's been the man to watch tonight for Exeter, but he watches that one sail out of his stick and over the head of the intended target, Williams, on that weak side. Turned over.
We have not seen a lot of that tonight, and they don't want to start seeing it now, that's for sure.
Meanwhile, out of his own end, this is Dunsmore again. He's starting to rack up the clears for Coach Cameron. He's also scored a goal in this one.
And you can't just let him stroll in either. No body there, just kind of followed him with the stick. Guertin's got to give him a good pop there. You're allowed to hit him out there.
Meanwhile, Kiley who scored 3 goals for BG. Full speed to his left, draws a slide. They leave Broderick open. He fires and scores for the second time.
Good play.
It's Kevin Broderick, the sophomore, elevating his game. Celebrates with his teammates. BG opening up a big lead now, 13-7.
Yeah, you can't put that long pole on Tim. You've got to get Neal on him somehow, and they got crossed up in the midfield. I don't know if the assignment was Neal stay on number 2, but he gets the ball easily over to Broderick, and that's just a clear step down. And again, you can't rely on Burnich every single time you're leaving the backside open.
So 2 goals for Broderick. Becomes another Cardinal with multiple goals. This one's still loose at midfield. And ultimately scooped up by Exeter's Cole Hiles. Sophomore has played well tonight. Meanwhile, Lechner in a jog to the far side. Looks for a one-on-one. Comes middle. And now looks like the Blue Hawks want to reset. Coach Brewster watching with his arms crossed. The first-year head coach hoping his club can climb back within 5 here. They're down 13-7 with now 2 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they've got to start getting some shots on net. Connerty didn't have a single save in that third quarter.
Drunzik trying to find Neal on a cross-zone pass that ends up out of play.
Right idea.
Yep. Neal, I think, upset with himself as the senior jogged off to the home visitor sideline, rather.
Well, here's our first settle clear in a while. And they execute.
Yep. A short pass far side, taken by the long pole Dahl. And back out to Young.
All right.
Under the lights here, almost full dark in Nashua. Again, big week for BG. They'll have a very short turnaround before a road game, another out-of-state game against BC High coming up Thursday. Meanwhile, Burnich with a nice save. Got a piece of the Young shot up close. Sophomore continuing to rack up saves for Exeter at 13 in the first half and has added to that total in the second half. Meanwhile, Seeple's shot comes on the run and again goes wide, out of play.
Right back to that first quarter offense. Finding the middle, looking for the cutter. Call it east-west, north-south play on the crease when you're doing that.
Oh, Young, the step and finish. Well, this is a deep midfield group that Coach Cameron went out of his way to praise before the season began. Caleb Young, one of those young guys coming off the bench that's a definite weapon for the Cardinals, gets his first goal tonight. And BG now doubling up Exeter 14-7 with 3 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's a plain and simple lacrosse play right there, guys. Nothing fancy. Just get to the net. I think they're just wearing this defense down right now, Nick. And have been. It's about the middle of the third quarter. And Guertin can't even keep up right now.
As you mentioned, the Exeter defense maybe experiencing a little bit of fatigue. They've been on their end of the field more often than not tonight. Murphy, dominant at the face-off X, has helped BG control the time of possession.
And not only that, but with the change of pace that Bishop Guertin puts into their offensive game, they consistently are on the move and keep the defense moving. And with these long that's going to be a penalty. Oh, he got away with one there.
Riley got mowed down, no whistle. Ground ball ends up with Exeter. Good defensive play again by the sophomore Hiles.
Look at the swarming. My goodness. Yep.
Williams' pass, too strong. BG's ride, formidable. We knew that coming in. They forced a few turnovers tonight. And as once again, Exeter fails to clear it.
Yeah, and they couldn't afford to have that happen. They need a rest. And as we were just saying, the double benefit of playing one-on-one and keeping possession at the same time is doing what you're seeing right now. They're just wearing the defense down, and they do look tired.
4 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Start and stop Bouvier. Shot there, rang some kind of metal. May have hit the near post. Out of play behind the net, stays with BG.
Ooh, nice check.
The ball come out.
It did.
Kiley's got it.
Kiley.
Yep. BG will keep it at this end. Bouvier takes a low pass, trying to swim away from the defender.
Ooh.
Back middle, that one intercepted. Like a cross crease pass that Burnich was able to pluck. Now Neal will do the rest. The Exeter senior crosses midfield and keeps coming here right to left. Thought about it. Instead finds Williams to his right. The Blue Hawks will pull it out with now 5 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter. Williams shot on the run. Deflected way up in the air, ends up out of play, and the foot race is won by Exeter. Good hustle by Lechner there to beat Rourke. And he's going to jog near side with Rourke right on his hip, tries to spin on the defender. Good defense by the Hofstra commit. Back up top. The freshman Lazowitz, a clean look. Ends up wide. It'll stay here.
Yeah, good take by Lazowitz there. I like that because he's been shooting low all game and has seen success. Now he wants to mix it up on Connerty. It's a good take.
Well, Drunzik with a tough shot there.
Yeah, he was almost still behind goal on extended when he took that.
Yeah, I was about to say dead even at best. Neal playing with the one high sock. I like the style. Going to spin, going to fire. That one jammed up on the release. It's going to roll slowly to that far corner. And again, good hustle by the Blue Hawk attack as Lazowitz is there. Make that Williams. He'll restart himself. Sprint hard to his left. Open up some room, but the goaltender ready. Knocks it away. Rebound still up for grabs near side. Goes sky high. One bounce into the Exeter bench out of bounds. It'll again stay here. We're now midway through this fourth quarter. BG trying to keep their 7-goal lead intact. Exeter trying to get them back one at a time here, but the clock really starting to factor in. Lechner across the zone, trying to hook up with Denman, but it's ripped away by the goaltender Connerty. Good play by the junior for BG. Now the Cardinals look for a long outlet pass, and they get it. Dumont up the field. And now BG on the attack here. Moving towards 5 minutes, fourth quarter.
Yeah, I like what BG did there on defense. They kept their fastest midfielder, Tim Kiley, out there on Denman.
Laurendo's shot rejected. Loose. And ultimately hunted down by Exeter's long pole, Ryan Guertin. Guertin with the clear, flips it for Lazowitz. The freshman going to jog upfield. Exeter still trailing big. Albert just came on, comes downhill at Gabord, takes a shot. And now a flag is going to fly. A little too aggressive, I guess, for Gabord.
Nice
play. Fake shot by Drunzik, and then he drills it on his way to the ground. Well, the Exeter senior never quite had his balance. He have a terrific fake to free himself up on the spin. And then somehow locate the target to score his fourth goal of the night. And again, there's a flag coming, a penalty coming against BG.
I think that was going to be a hold and a technical. Looks like they've waved it off.
Okay, so we'll stay at even strength with just under 5 minutes remaining. Now a 14-8 game here in Nashua.
What a play by Drunzik. I mean, he had everybody looking towards the sky on that one. And then they come right back.
And Exeter gives one right back as Murphy shows you what he can do in the open field. The face-off specialist calls his own number, gets his first goal tonight. And just like that, once again, it's a 7-goal game at 15-8.
They're going to give him a break. They send out Mitchell Lynch to take this face-off. That just hurts. That just hurts. You can't let that happen.
So 15-8.
That's the second time Exeter has scored, and BG came right back off the face-off win and scores.
You're right.
And cuts it off.
Saw that back in the first half. Meanwhile, Lynch, who's a heck of a face-off guy in his own right, by the way. He's got a full boat to southern New Hampshire. Gets a good win there. See him throw the shoulder along the sidelines, hunting down that ground ball.
It's amazing that New Hampshire is producing such quality face-off guys. And, you know, we've seen, as you mentioned, Murphy going to Bryant. There's already Nate LaLiberty there facing off for Bryant. That he's a Derry kid, and he started at Pinkerton and then moved on to private school. And before him, there's several others.
A pretty good pipeline in general.
Yeah.
From the Granite State down to Bryant.
Yeah, Blake Boudreau from Merrimack College. He was a great face-off specialist for them.
And in the case of Lynch here with BG, classmates obviously with Murphy, both seniors. I guess the story is that Murphy was looking for a partner to rep with, and Lynch, who knew nothing about the face-off game, volunteered, and next thing you know, he's on his way to Southern New Hampshire with a lacrosse scholarship.
Yeah, I can remember Coach Cameron talking several years ago when McNallen was his face-off guy with Blake Boudreau was a prior class with McNallen, and how they just had this club, of 4 or 5 guys that were they went off into the distant part of the field. They did their own thing, and it was almost like a badge of honor to be a part of that Fogo club. And
there you go.
He has had some great Eric Harry's originally back when Coach Cam started.
Well, I guess JJ's nickname, as we see another C-pole shot, is Boomer.
Oh.
And they call that workout group Boomer's Face-Off Academy. And that includes the likes such as Cole Frank of Pinkerton and other players from across the state. So it's almost like a secret society of face-off men, and obviously all the kids are good, very good.
Yeah.
Not just by New Hampshire standards, but by national standards as well.
Yeah.
All right, meanwhile, we're almost down to 3 minutes. Exeter down 7, still fighting. Another penalty is on the way here.
We got a slash here on BG. Yep. It's going to be on Dumont.
It's Alex Dumont on his way to the sideline. On his way to the box for the second time tonight. He'll jog off the field along with Gabord, who heads to the bench.
They need to capitalize here. Got a full minute to do something here, but the clock is their enemy. But they need to get something going.
There's one out in front, and Neal's got the finish. Pretty pass from behind the cage. Lechner on the assist. And they waste very little time, Roger, just 10 seconds into that EMO to cash in.
Now they need to win a face-off. Just keep it going.
It's Neal's first goal. One of the co-captains had an assist back in the first half, and I think he's been on the field every second of the game, to his credit. 15-9, big face-off win there for the Cardinals.
See if they take it to the hole.
Dunsmore, another ground ball and another clear for the Cardinals.
Yeah, so give Lynch his second face-off win.
Yep. Inside of 3 minutes, though, and of course, as we know, no shot clock in high school lacrosse. Anywhere, right, Roger? Not just in New Hampshire?
As far as I know, there is no... prep plays college, so prep school, high school lacrosse would be playing with a shot clock.
Meanwhile, a timeout is going to be called by Coach Cameron. Comes with 2:27 to go. Coach with one to burn says, why not? Didn't like something out there. Going to make sure his guys are on the same page for the final 2:27.
Yeah, I wanted to comment, BG playing Staples this past weekend and losing that game. Exeter playing Acton-Boxborough, winning that game.
Yep.
And their next, BG that is, their next out-of-state matchup, I believe, is BC High, correct?
Thursday.
I have been to BC High. I've, Bedford played them a couple of years in a row back then. Tough team. They've always been top-notch in Massachusetts. They actually lost to LaSalle, who BG plays later on in their schedule this season.
Right.
So, you've got the, like we talked about in Division II with Winnicott beating, Derryfield and Derryfield losing to Timberlake in that little triangle of wins and losses. And how do you figure out the power struggle there? You've got that same thing happening right now with these out-of-state teams that Bishop Guertin's playing.
A lot of common opponents when you start measuring up, but I guess the whole idea, right, is to challenge your team. I mean, there's good teams in the region. Logistically, always managed to find a way to get it done when the outside powers that be don't interfere, like last year.
Yeah.
Why not? And that seems to be the direction that a lot of these up-and-coming programs outside of the premier teams, the BGs, the Exeters, the Pinkertons, etc., are starting to do that more and more often, right, is fill up some of those empty slots with out-of-state opponents.
Indeed, and although I give Coach Cameron a lot of credit for really pushing that trend, okay, it really started with Brian O'Reilly. Brian O'Reilly, back in the Pinkerton days, he would go out of state and very, very early on.
And not just lacrosse either, football as well.
Sure. So he really started that and realized that you need to really challenge your teams because they were certainly powerhouses, 12 state championships to his credit. But I think when Coach Cameron came on the scene, 2005, he won that championship and started to realize, we're so strong, we need to go outside of that. And it seems like everybody in the southern half of New Hampshire, whether they're D1, D2, are playing something out of state, whether it be Maine, Massachusetts, in BG's case, Connecticut.
Shot, score. Tim Kiley putting the exclamation point on what's been an outstanding night for the junior. The Sacred Heart commit has his 4th goal. And BG's got their largest lead once again on the board at 16-9 with just a minute 24 to go.
Yeah, he likes filling in the quarters with the score sheet. He has scored in every quarter of this game today. He has been a factor on defense as well as offense. He is just he's one of those workhorses out there like Braden Bowman that we talked about in the Timberlane game a week or so ago. You see him around the ball everywhere.
Face off, Lynch in the mix. Cardinal senior wins another. Here he comes down the middle, shot and score. And Lynch is excited. Celebrates on the home sideline with his teammates. The senior makes it 17-9.
Well, I want to know if that is his first goal, his second goal. We've really never talked about him, as a face-off guy over the last couple of years. But, man, he deserved every inch of that.
17-9 and takes advantage of what could be an Exeter defense on its last legs here as we hit a minute to go. A lot of Blue Hawk defenders playing a lot of minutes tonight. And it may have caught up with them there on that quick possession. Meanwhile, Drunzik swimming through the defenders. Lights the lamp for the 5th time. No, Drunzik, we saw him put up 6 in a 10-6 win over Pinkerton 2 weeks ago. Looks like he'll have 6. No, he has 5 tonight.
5.
May finish with 6. We've got 58 seconds left, but 5 tonight either way. The future UMass Minutemen can walk out of here with his head high. Murphy, meanwhile, back on the field for BG. Wins another face-off, finds Seipel. Thought about the shot. Thought better of it, going to pull it back out and jog his way back to midfield with now 45 seconds to go.
Yeah, just a shout-out to Noah Zeman. He was the face-off specialist for BG on that prior face-off that gave Exeter the possession, so they went right back to Murphy. And they got a good 3 rotation going there on Fogo.
Flag. Going to come here with 20 seconds as Broderick continues to hold behind the cage. Coach Cameron says move it.
Yeah,
Dumont, goal line extended.
Kill it.
Back out to Hughes. And with 5 seconds left, it looks like that will do it. BG with a strong performance tonight. They win it 17-10. They improved to 8-1 on the season. They rebound from their lone loss over the weekend. And they hand Exeter their first defeat as the Blue Hawks slip to 9-1. Nearly a wire-to-wire win. Not quite, but close. BG took the lead early in the second quarter for good. And again, enjoy themselves a 7-goal victory, 17-10 the final.
Yeah, I mean, it was in reach for the Blue Hawks right in that middle part of the second quarter. BG goes on a run, ends up at 6-4 at halftime. It was in reach at that point. But then BG just pours it on in the third, comes up with 6 goals to Exeter's 3, and that really was the difference. You can say that about the score, but I also think at the same time that time of possession for Bishop Guertin was the killer in this game because it really wore down the Blue Hawks.
Absolutely. All right, coming up, full recap. Stats, highlights, analysis, plus an out-of-town scoreboard that features 2 of the best teams in D2, Winnicott and Dairyfield, going at it for the second time and going down to the wire. We'll get you that score coming up in just a moment. BGU winner 17-10 post-game next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today.
At Dead River Company, the work we do is about more than just filling up tanks. It's about the everyday moments in your home. We're here to fix your heating equipment, so you have heat and hot water for moments like this. We brave the elements, so you're always safe and warm. Anytime, day or night. Because it's moments like this that we do everything we do.
Dead River Company, it's not your job to worry about the heat. It's ours.
Become a customer today, and we'll be there for the moments that matter to you.
Well, 17-10 is the final. Coach Cameron's Bishop Guertin Cardinals reestablished themselves at the top of the D1 totem pole by handing Exeter their first loss. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. As BG looking to rebound from their lone loss. It came against an out-of-state opponent, and it came over the weekend against Staples down in Connecticut. They score first. A couple of minutes in, Connor Gabord made it 1-0 home team before Exeter's Aiden Drunzik tied the game at the midway point first quarter, and then freshman Marshall Lazowitz, who had a big night tonight, scored for the first time to give Exeter their only lead of the night, 2-1. Inside of 2 minutes later in that first quarter, Tim Kiley, who also had a big night for the home team, tied the game at 2, and that was our score at the end of 1. Then Connor Hughes put BG in front, what turned out to be for good, scoring a few minutes into the second quarter and giving his team a 3-2 lead. Kiley's second came a moment later. 4-2 BG at that point. Gabor's second followed just seconds later. 5-2, and then Alex Dumont on what looked like kind of a good luck play where it bounced off his stick into the net. Dumont's goal made it 6-2 BG. That was their largest lead of the first half. And then Exeter, a little bit of a push there before halftime. They score 2 goals in the final minute before the break. One from Lazowitz, his second, and the second from Drunzik. And that's where we were at halftime, 6-4. It was 6-2. It became 6-4 at the break, and then it was 6-5. Less than 2 minutes in, third quarter, Lazowitz's third goal brought Exeter within 1, and then BG, well, they came on strong. They score 4 of the next 5. Quentin Seipel, followed by Aiden Lorando. That was a short-handed goal to make it 8-5. Drunzik, another. His hat trick stemmed the tide a little bit. Exeter back within a couple, 8-6 at the 4-minute mark, third quarter. But then the depth of BG starting to show up. Kevin Broderick made it 9-6. Gabor's third made it 10-6. Denman's score for Exeter pulled them back within 3 at 10-7. And then BG closes out the third quarter on a high note. 2 goals in the final 60 seconds, final 48 seconds. As Alex Dunsmore and another for Tim Kiley made it 12-7 BG after 3. Broderick, another for the sophomore, made it 13-7. Caleb Young, his classmate, a moment later made it 14-7. Exeter's Drunzik scored for the 4th time. Kind of one final push there at about the 5-minute mark. Made it 14-8. And BG's J.J. Murphy off the face-off. What was that? Just inside of 5 minutes. Made it 15-8. Neal, who played well, one of the Exeter captains, scored his lone goal at the 3-minute mark to bring Exeter back within 6. Kiley's 4th reestablished that 7-goal lead at 16-9. Mitchell Lynch took one off the X and went the length for BG in that final minute or so to make it 17-9. And then Drunzik's 5th takes us to the finish line and saves a little bit of face for Exeter. Drunzik finishes with a game-high 5 goals. But the Blue Hawks fall by a final score of 17-10. Roger, your final thoughts on what we saw here. Really a treat from the 2 perhaps best teams in Division 1.
Definitely the best teams in Division 1, no question about that. The depth of Bishop Guertin is what ultimately hurt the Blue Hawks today, because they just kept bringing personnel after personnel, skilled players that just filled everything in when they took the starters and the first liners out. And because of J.J. Murphy, the face-off possessions, this could have been a lot different game if Burnich hadn't come and really
ready to play. Yeah, he played well.
He played
very well.
I got him at 19 saves. There's probably more. Being up here and dealing with old eyeballs. But when you come up with that many saves against this team, the way they peppered him and they kept coming at him with the depth that they have, this could have been a lot worse, I think, especially after that second quarter when it was in reach. It was a traditional Exeter BG game that we usually have,
right,
where it was close in the first half and then all of a sudden the runs hit and, everything starts to change.
But it was quite the trio down there at midfield. Longtime head coach Chris Cameron with our longtime friends in the media, Tom King of the Nashua Telegraph and ETV on the left, and, of course, Joe Marshallena of nh-highschoolsports.com. Roger, some out-of-town scores. How about a rematch between Derryfield and Winnicott? Those 2 teams met on opening day. That was I believe, 9-6 or 9-7. Derryfield win either way.
9-6, I think you're right, yeah.
It was a Cougar victory. Well, Winnicott gets revenge tonight. They beat Derryfield 11-8, the final, to even up that season series at 1 apiece.
You know, and I hope that's on film somewhere, because I would have loved to have seen what Winnicott did against Derryfield. You know, Derryfield's got some great defenders there, but that attack line with Kimball and Tucker McCann on the face-offs, they're just tough
big
as nails.
Defense, yeah.
Big.
They're good everywhere for sure, and they show us why tonight.
Yeah, the only other out-of-town score I can pass on to you folks is the other top D2 team was Portsmouth, and they were up 9-2 at half against Bow. So that's all I got.
All right. Well, we'll get after it tomorrow night. Coach Cameron will join me on the broadcast in Bedford as we get a look at two of the best girls teams in the state. Portsmouth at Bedford. That's a 6 o'clock start from Bulldog Stadium. Weather may be a factor, which always is fun. So we'll see you tomorrow night. Later on, Roger and I hook back up down in Wyndham when the Jaguars play host to St. Thomas on the boys' side in Division 2. Want to thank our sponsors tonight, the Bean Group and Roger Howe Real Estate, Dead River Company, the New Hampshire Tomahawks, New Hampshire iPhone Repair, MG Sports Fundraising, and, of course, Beals Insurance. For our friends here in Nashua, including the Bishop Guertin Athletic Director, Ryan Brown, making it easy for us to slide right in without a problem. We appreciate Mr. Brown, for sure.
Open door here,
That's
us.
right.
It's Stellos.
That's right.
Yeah,
We got our own key here, high above Stellos Stadium. I want to thank our crew as well. Of course, John Barron back in the fold. We appreciate having him on the ground and hooking us up. And, of course, his counterpart down on the field behind the lens, that's Craig Incardoni. We appreciate him. For the man behind the curtain, the director, back in the Beals Insurance Studios, that's Ben Beals. Smooth with the replays as usual again tonight. For my partner, Roger Howe, my name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, Bishop Guertin 17, Exeter 10. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.